There seems to be a bit of mystery as to why some leaders are promoted into the C-suite and others are not. And as you might have suspected, it doesn't really come down to education or experience. Because there are many talented leaders who are not promoted into the C-suite, even though they have the technical skill necessary to do the job well, and they have years of experience. So what differentiates those leaders who are promoted into the C-suite and those who are not? Well, one of the contributing factors is lack of executive presence. This is where the leader does not have the ability to show up, to communicate, or to interact with other people in a confident or a memorable way. What I mean by this is the leader might attend every meeting that they're required to attend, but because they don't share their unique ideas that they have, nobody knows who they are. They kind of blend in with everyone else, or they may share their idea, but they do it in such a passive way, nobody pays attention to what they're saying. The bad thing about this is it opens up the opportunity for a more cunning leader to take that idea and to repackage it in a way that sounds a lot more compelling, leading that leader to get all of the glory instead. So as you can imagine, lack of executive presence can have harmful consequences to your career and to your confidence as well. The way to fix this is to make sure that you show up in a noticeable way, that you communicate in a confident way, and that you interact in a warm way with other people. And I'm going to give you 3 examples or 3 tips that will help you to achieve this. Use confident body language when you walk into a room. This will help you to show up in a noticeable way. So this means keep your head high, use good posture, make sure you use good eye contact and actually look at the other people in the room as you enter, and don't forget to smile. Communicate in a way that is clear and structured. If you need to, you can prepare your thoughts in advance by writing them down. This is a technique that a surprising number of successful leaders use. Make the other person feel that you are interested in what they're saying by asking them questions. So don't just sit there and nod your head and not say anything. Ask them questions about what they are saying. Having bad communication skills is another reason why talented leaders are not promoted into the C-suite, because in leadership, especially in the C-suite, everything hinges on your ability to communicate well, on your ability to communicate complicated concepts clearly, to sift through volumes of unimportant or distracting information to focus on the core of what people need to know about, and to communicate in a way that makes others feel they're being included in the conversation and not lectured to. Technical leaders who have mastered good communication skills are much more likely to get promoted into the C-suite. And yes, you guessed it, if you are a technical leader and you have not mastered good communication skills, then you are more likely to be one of those leaders who are overlooked. I have a ton of content on my channel about communication skills. I mean, so many videos that will help you to improve your communication, whether it's to communicate with more confidence, whether it's to be more articulate, whether it is to be more empathetic or to speak like a leader. I will put a playlist in the description below where you will find all of those videos. But the one video that will probably help you the most is a 17-minute long video called C-Suite Communication Skills. I will also put that video in the description below. Some of the tips from that video that will help you right now are to give your opinion with confidence, using I think, I suggest, or from my perspective, rather than saying I'm not 100% sure but, or I'm not sure if you think this would be a good idea, but find the main points of what people are saying in group meetings and summarize it in your own words. I give you examples of how to do this in the video I mentioned before. And articulate complicated concepts clearly by telling people how many points you're going to be talking about. These are all ways that you can improve your communication so you can position yourself as a future C-suite leader. But having executive presence and good communication skills will only get you so far into the C-suite. You also need to have really good relationships with other people in the office. And when I say others in the office, I'm talking about entry level up to C-suite level, and even the person who works in the lobby of your building. Because rumors and gossip about someone's bad people skills or somebody's rudeness They travel quickly, and they can really make people think twice about promoting you into the C-suite. Now, I'm not saying that all leaders in the C-suite have fantastic people skills. I'm sure you can think of at least one example of someone who works in the C-suite in your company who has a reputation of not so good people skills. There will always be outliers, but on the whole, if you have good people skills and you interact with other people really well, it will be much easier for you to be promoted into the C-suite because people will know that you are easy to work with. So to improve your people skills, here is what I recommend that you do. You need to be curious about what people say, about who they are, about what they're working on, about what they're struggling with. Curiosity is the first step to becoming more empathetic because it encourages you to ask questions, which shows that you care. Seek understanding and resolution, not blame. Because blame doesn't help you solve problems. It distracts you, it takes up time, and it prevents you from achieving the main objective, which is to fix the problem and to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Learn to negotiate not only your salary or your pay rate, but also your time. This is the most valuable resource that you have, and if you are in the C-suite, you need to make sure that you use it wisely. Another reason why talented leaders are not promoted into the C-suite is because of lack of emotional intelligence. This means that someone has no awareness about their own emotions. They can't read or manage the emotions of others, and they can't react to situations in an emotionally intelligent way either. Think of somebody who talks all the time in meetings. They don't let anyone else talk. They cut other people off when they start talking, and they have an attitude of just being obnoxious and arrogant. This is an example of somebody who has lack of emotional intelligence. Or another example is a leader who acts in a really aggressive way when someone in their team makes a mistake. They focus on blaming that person rather than seeking a solution. Both examples describe somebody who cannot manage their emotions and they have no awareness as to how their actions or reactions impact other people around them. This independent attitude can be really costly in the C-suite because there is no room for people to act alone there. High-level decisions are always made in a group, usually after lengthy discussions, after getting the input from a number of people, and after weighing up different options. Lack of emotional intelligence, which may cause you to respond or react in a disagreeable way because you think you are the one who is right, can put unnecessary obstacles in this kind of decision-making process. You can try and avoid this by doing these three things. So develop more self-awareness. So at work, try to identify your triggers for when you feel calm, for when you feel stressed, or for when you feel angry. What makes you feel each of these emotions? Try to understand other people's emotions either by observing them or by asking them if you can't read them well enough. And react accordingly. So sometimes this might mean that you need to be more empathetic to other people. Sometimes it might mean you need to be more authoritative. It really depends on the situation you are facing. I know that emotional intelligence might seem a little bit cryptic to you, but if you watch this video up here, it will definitely uncover a bit of the mystery surrounding emotional intelligence for you. Now, sometimes when you don't get into the C-suite, it isn't because of skills that you have developed or skills that you have not developed. It's because you haven't received adequate feedback from your boss, so you don't know what your weak points are. Imagine you receive your performance review results or notes from your performance review from your boss, and they have highlighted that you need to improve your communication skills or you need to improve your executive presence. And you read this and you think to yourself, well, what does that exactly mean? There's no clarification from your boss as to what they are specifically talking about, and they don't offer any suggestions on how you can improve in these areas. So you read these performance review results, you shrug them off, and you move on to the next thing you need to work on. If this is something that has happened to you, I highly encourage that you talk to your boss about it. Ask them, what do you mean by this? Is there an example that you can give me as to how I need to improve my communication skills? Is there a specific situation that you are referring to? And how do you recommend that I improve my communication skills? Your boss may have written this vague feedback because they were busy. Or they may have written it because they wanted you to be proactive and come and ask them about it. Or they may have written it simply because they just needed something to write and they needed to look like they were doing their job properly. There could be a variety of reasons as to why your boss wrote this vague feedback, but what is going to help you the most is if you approach them to get the information you need so that you can advance. Ask them clarifying questions to get to the root of what they mean. Ask for specific examples or situations of what you are doing or of what you are not doing. Ask how it is impacting your performance at work and also how it's impacting the perception of your performance and of your potential in the company. Because you don't want to let a small conversation like this get in the way of you climbing the corporate ladder. Sometimes you have to be courageous and proactive in order to get where you want to be. And being in command of your voice is something that will absolutely help you here. You can find information about that in this video right here. And the rest of the videos that I highly recommend you watch are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much to everyone who has joined my channel membership. I know that many of you are moving up to the next loyalty badge, which is very, very exciting. So thank you for your support. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.